you see that. It's a red shad. And I really like this red shad color. So today I am going to be doing some red shad. My version by the way. But yeah, I'm going to be playing around with some red shad because I've been looking at Zoom's red shad for a while, and I've always wanted to see how close I could get to making a red shad that was that color, and some trick worms, possibly some stick worms, and maybe I might throw in some crawls or one of my frogs. And then got a little specialty I'm gonna chop up and either do a milk to cow process on, or I'm going to do a red shad and this sexiness in a laminate. So we're gonna see how it goes, so stay tuned, guys. Forgive me for my rudeness, guys. Welcome to another V-series of 2 fresh fishings, custom bait tutorials and fishing episode-y type things. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day or your night to stop in and check me out. I am your host for tonight. That sounded good. Terrence Downing, and again, thank you, and let's get it cracking. I've taken the time and I've gotten my blue chopped up, and for those of you who find yourself with a lot of these, as we call them, pucks of plastic from any of your shooting sessions that you have, and you're looking to remelt these to use over for any other thing that you choose to make for, one suggestion that we have is making sure that you chop them up. And I'm pretty sure most of you have already heard this, but just reiterating on it, chopping your puck up into smaller pieces allows the microwaving process to work a lot faster on it. Trying to microwave a full puck of plastic will take a lot longer than it will for you to chop it up. If you chop it up, it just seems to work faster. So just want to give that advice. And right now I'm working with 1 1/2 cups of plastic, in which I'm going to be utilizing in order to make my red shad color in. So I'm going to get both of these popped into the microwave, get them cooked up so you guys don't have to watch this boring process. And once I get everything ready, I shall return. All right, guys, so I have just finished cooking up my first cup of plastic, and we're a little bit under 350 now. I was at 350, but let it cool down a little bit. And to this cup we are going to be adding MF Maroon Red Shad non-bleed. And the reason that I'm using a non-bleed version is because I don't want the red to bleed into the blue once we put it into the package. So I'm going to start off with about 10 drops and just see how that sits me. And as you can see, with 10 drops with the MF in a cup and a half, it's a light pinkish color. So we're going to keep adding. I'm at 20 now. Now I'm at 30. I'm going to stop there and see how we're looking here. As you can see, we're getting a tad bit darker. And I'm going to add about 10 more drops. And that should be it for the red shad. So nice deep fuchsia-ish color. So now what I want to add and just testing is some of the red pearl, and I'm going to go with about a 1/2 teaspoon. And let's see what this does. It's definitely going to give me the pearl that I want. I don't think it's going to give me the red that I want in it, but I think it's definitely going to give me the pearl that I want. And if you look at it from the outside, it actually is giving us more of a maroonish red color, but it's more on the maroon side than it is the red. So I'm going to toss it back in the microwave, and then I'm going to add a little bit of red to it, some dead on red, to see if I can get a little bit more red in this color, and we shall return. Alright guys, so we are back, and I'm going to add about 15 to 20 drops of the dead on red, just to see if I can get a little bit more red in it. There we go. Get you guys up there. That is exactly what I was looking for. See that? So if you're using the MF, I did 40 drops of the MF, which is the maroon red shad non-bleed. I did about a 1/2 teaspoon of the red pearl number 197 of the Lure Works, and then I did about 15 to 20 drops of the dead on red, and this is as good of a red shad as I think I really want to get. Alright guys, so let me get the blue situated. Let me get both of them popped into the gas chamber and degassed, and then I shall return. Alright guys, this is how our red is looking, our red shad. You can see a little bit of the fuchsia highlight in it, in which I'm actually really happy with. And here's our blue, which is a beautiful metallic blue. Alright guys, so I'm going to test my temp now to see where we are, and I am right at 327. Gonna boost it up, well, 330. So I'm gonna boost it up for about 15 more seconds, just to get me closer to 340, 345, because the mold that we're going to use right now hasn't been shot today, and it's a little bit cool. So if I bring my temp up a little bit, then it'll heat the mold up. And your first shoot, usually when you use your cold molds, that's basically just a scrap shoot to warm your mold up, and your secondary shoot is really going to be your first shoot, because that's the one that you really look for not having issues with because of your mold being cold. So I'm going to grab this temp again, and we should be close to 350 now. We are right at 352, which is good for me. Between the coolness from the mold and the coolness from the injector, it'll definitely bump the temperature down in the plastic. So I've also decided that I'm going to do my crushing crawl in the red shad and the metallic blue. We're going to do a red shad top, metallic blue bottom, just to see how that goes. And then we might play around with a little bit of the milk in the cow or the swirl effect once we're done. So let's get this shot and let's see how we come out. All right. I have high hopes for this. Now, because it's at 350, I'm not gonna push hard because I know that if I push hard, I'm gonna get flashing. So just enough pressure to shoot all the way through. Hopefully it'll make sure that I don't have any air in the tail areas on the de-finesse, but I really didn't want to add a lot of pressure to it because it flowed through very easily, and I know any excessive force that I pushed down on it would have caused us to get flashing. So again, I'm going to hold pressure for about 20-25 seconds, let up, and then I'll fill up my, or top off my sprue, put my excess back in the cup. Look at that color. Can y'all see that? Let me back away from the light a little bit. Almost looks like a candy apple red. Almost looks good enough to eat, but I wouldn't do it. All right. So I'm going to top off once more. Then I'm going to put this back in the microwave. In fact, I'll put my blue in the microwave and heat it up. I'm going to do one more shot of the red before I start messing with the metallic blue, because I do want to get a full 12 bait shot in the shad. So I'm going to go ahead and use that time to heat this up, so when I put the shad back in, when I get ready to do the laminate, both of them will already be heated up. All right, so while that's running, we can go ahead and do our first demolding. And yes, we are supposed to be careful here. So let me get my glove back on, because I definitely don't want to get burnt. All right, guys, so here we go. Well, they came out good, but I can definitely tell you that they're a little bit on the light side, and I wanted them to be a little bit more darker. But let me get them out of this mold, and then I'll be able to see. Yeah, I can see that there's not enough That's a beautiful color though, but it almost looks like it's translucent, and I know it's not, but you know what, I'm almost satisfied with that, guys. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put a little bit of this dark tone behind it, see if you guys can see it better that way. Pretty nice. But I do think that I'm going to add a drop of black to it just to darken it up just a little bit. I neglected to explain something for those of you who may not know. Anytime that you're dealing with certain colors and your color may be too light and you want to darken it up, depending on what the color is, you usually would use black to darken it. And for this I'm going to only add 2 drops of black to it, just to see if I can get a little bit of depth, a little bit more opacity in it. And you can kind of see the black blending into it, but now I have a little bit more darkness, and I'm going to actually add one more drop in, and then I think I'll be closer to where I want it to be. Take that for just good measures. And I'll let you see what I'm doing. See that? Now you see the difference? And I'm going to shoot another run of this so that you can see how, oops, sorry about that, it hit the camera. So you can see the difference between how the first run looks and this run looks. You can definitely see, or I can see, the difference in the darkness of it now. So, all right, let me heat this up right quick, shoot another one, and I'll let you guys see how it looks. And here we go. I already know I'm gonna like this a lot better. All right. All right, so here's the first one again, just so you can see how almost transparent it is. I mean, you can definitely see the pearl in it, but you can definitely see the transparency in it as well. It's pretty color, but it's not what I was aiming for. I took my glove off to show you guys the color and not have the glove interfering. I dropped it. So, don't want to touch any of this without my glove. And now, give you a comparison of the colors here. See, this is the secondary color, and this is our first color. Let me top this off. And I'm going to give it a quick minute to set up a little bit, and then we shall open this mold up so I can give you a comparative look at the sprue excess from the first one and then the baits that I shot the second time, because I put the first ones in the water. I think I'm going to try to fish them in the morning, so I went ahead and put them in the water so that they can start setting up and curing. Alright guys, so get both of these guys in the microwave because it's time to do some laminate work. And I think I might be good to go on this one here. I'm going to keep my glove on just in case. Yep, see that? That means it's almost set up enough for it not to drip out once I open the mold up. Alright, so here's our second shoot. And that is more on the maroonish side, but I like that a lot better. I don't know. What do you think, guys? I think I really went more maroonish on this now with adding that fourth drop. See that? I like it, but it's definitely a little bit too maroonish for me now. But I don't know, it still looks nice, and I think that in the daytime it might be a lot brighter than it is now because I'm just using this light. So I really like this though. So I'm going to drop these in the water and let them cure as well, and I'm going to set the other ones up so we can start shooting these laminates. Alright guys, so we have the blue and the red back up to temp right now. I added a little bit more red to my red to try to stop it from being as maroon, and then I put a little bit more pearl powder in it to offset the red that I added. And alright, here we go. So that's the definesse that we're shooting first, and then we're going to do the crawl in a bottom blue and a top in the red shad. hold that, and while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the sprue from this, because it is sucking up a lot of plastic. And I don't want any dents in them. Alright, so I topped this one off, and it was because I didn't top off the sprue opening when I first did it, because I wanted to go ahead and do the crawls. Alright, so we're going to give that a moment to set up. I'm only going to do, just for the sake of the time on the video, guys, I'm only going to do this one shot. I'm not going to shoot another set. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and top this off just once more, because I'm not ready to demold it yet, and I'm ready to do the definesses. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you guys can see how the definesses came out. I'm already liking this. Almost kind of looks like a red dawn. Let me cut this head off. I'm getting bugs coming in now, but look at this. Very solid color. I'm really liking this. All right, let me grab these. And get this one demolded. If I had some white to add on to this, we'd be at the American flag, guys. Literally. Alright. Look at this. Had a little bit of bleeding over, but I'm really liking how that looks. And I'm glad that I didn't add any flake in the red, because I think if I would have added flake, it would have overdid it. And the flake, the holographic flake that's in the blue, really sets this off. So let me show you this one again. And then the blue side. Pretty awesome. All right, guys. Let me put these in the water, and I shall return to wrap this video up. I really think that the colors came out pretty nice. It's almost kind of reminding me of a red dawn type of color, but I do like the red shad color. I definitely think that it would go very nice in a trick worm. I'm really liking how it looks mixed in with this crawl. I'd like to get a solid laminate like this in the crawl, and I just need to drop my temp down a little bit before I shoot, and that should allow me to achieve that. Alright guys, so overall I think I did pretty good with the color. It's not spot on. I don't think it's as red as I would have liked it to be, but I'm definitely happy with the color. I really, really, really like this laminate and how it came out. I think that shooting the trick worm by itself with this color would definitely do some damage in the water. I'm actually going to shoot me a bag of them because I really like this color. And I think that if I would have only added 2 drops of black instead of throwing that extra drop in for extra measure, that I probably would have gotten the range of red that I was looking for in here. when I did it. But no mistake is a bad mistake when you're shooting baits. I'm learning as I go, so I'm trying to teach as I learn. And the red shad didn't come out exactly how I wanted it to, but I can do this. I really like how this looks. If you have any suggestions as to how I could have gotten a little bit closer to the red shad that I showed in the photo, please drop some comments down below. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas about a color that I should try, write down in the suggestions. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe, and help me get the word out about the channel. Really, really, really loving the support, and I really thank you guys for stopping by and checking me out. So remember, guys, that life is too fresh to not go fishing, so get somebody, take them out, and create a too fresh memory. Have a good one.